Better, faster, stronger. So here we are, January 6th. It's like the beginning of 2021. And what I wanted to cover today, I wanted to do what I usually do, where I have each of you. I'm going to admit Karima in. So what I wanted to do today is have you all report on a win, either personal or professional, that you've had in relation to coaching. And then once we have the opportunity to do that, I also then after we've each had the opportunity to do that, I would like to walk you through a visualization called a state of personal power. And after we do that, then I would like to ask each of you to think about one action that you would like to commit to, like one courageous, powerful action that you want to commit to in the upcoming week. And we are meeting next week, the 13th and then the 20th. And then that will be it until mid-May, when I have the first cohort of the year. And as you'll know, I'll be going on maternity leave. So if you need my assistance with something, coaching session, anything, make sure that you contact me before the end of the month. Okay? So, with that said, who would like to go first? Welcome, Karima. So what we're doing today, I'm going to put it in the chat, is we are sharing a personal or professional win as it relates to coaching, either coaching with yourself or a client. After we do that, I'm going to walk you through a visualization called a state of personal power, which is one of the tools that you all have in the course. And then after that, I'll ask you each to commit to one courageous action this week. So if you want to go first, just go ahead and put up your hand with the number 1. If you want to go second, Gladys, Rita. So Gladys, Rita, Trep, Lima. So Maury, that's your 5th.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Gladys, kick it off.
So a friend of mine introduced me to someone to help me with my website. I was comfortable with what I did based off of the fact that I've never built a website before. I'm not tech savvy. Usually I ask my kids to do everything, and they don't realize I gave birth to them for that reason. So because they're a lot more tech savvy than I am, I'm usually leaving it up to them to help me. So I actually sent it to a friend of mine who I knew was going to be really honest about it. And she sent it back to me. And of course, she's like, yeah, for someone who's never built a website before, you did an awesome job. But I can introduce you to someone who will make it look even more fabulous than it already looks. So I've been communicating with this person back and forth. This is what they do, is build websites. And so far, so good. He sent me a little snippet of what he has thus far. On Saturday, I'll be taking some professional headshots to add to the website because he really wants it to look professional. And like he's walking me through a lot of things that I did not know that I needed to do in order to get this website to look the way it needs to look. So that's one thing. And then for my upcoming goal, I actually have a friend who does coaching full time. I think she's doing it for relationships. So I reached out to her and I'm hoping to make a connection with her at some point next week because I would love to shadow her when she's dealing with a client, because I'm that person. I'm a visual person. I can read something 1,000,001 time and I would never understand it. You can tell it to me over the phone 1,000,001 time and I wouldn't get it until I actually see you do it. Once I see it a few times, the comfortability is there, the understanding is better because I'm hands-on and I'm visual. So I'm hoping to connect with her and get her to agree to allow me, whether she's doing it on Zoom or, just so I can see from beginning to end exactly how it's done. Then I can piece it together myself. So that's my goal that I have set for myself for next week.
Very good. Wonderful. I'm so glad that you're taking the professional headshots. That's great because you want to definitely put your best face forward. And
Yeah.
that you're having this, professional person build your website. So I'm sure he's telling you about like how to drive traffic to your website and
Mhm.
also having some kind of a lead magnet, like somewhere you can capture people's emails and having some kind of something that you're giving. Um, if you want to check out my website, I mean, I'm sure I don't know if you've had the chance to, Gladys, but there's like a pop-up that I have that gives people like something for free. And that's a way to make sure that every time somebody visits your site, they put in their email address.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just so you can see an example. I mean, there's many ways to do it, but that is key
Okay.
to making it not just to look professional, but to be efficient, to do what you want it to do, which is you want it to capture the person that when they come to your website and to have a very clear call to action.
Okay. I
Okay.
have some for that, but yeah,
Thank you. Thank you for going first.
no problem.
Rita.
Hi. So I've been working on the circle of influence for, the friends and family circle, but it was interesting as I started to talk to people about the business side of things. I couldn't believe people's reactions to life coaching in general and how positive they were. So I talked to my accountant about what I needed to do. And when I told him what it was, he was like, oh my God, that's terrific. And I know someone. And I said, okay, well, great. First, give me the advice and then give me a name. I talked to my insurance provider. They had the same level of enthusiasm because my accountant said that liability insurance is just always a good idea. I called my bank and sadly, their DBA checking account policy requires $1,000 minimum balance, which I think is really steep. So I said, no, I'm sorry, I can't work with you. But they were also just so supportive. And the woman that I spoke with said, oh my God, sign me up. The second bank I talked to, which I can walk to from here, has no minimum. And it's a local bank and they're locally connected. And I told her that I was launching this business. And she said, however, we can be helpful, when you get everything notarized and come in, let's talk about that. And I thought that neighborhood spirit was really awesome. I called my town hall and I got the business certificate that I'm filling out. And again, everyone was so kind and so supportive. And I didn't realize the resources just within my own little town here. I called a local neighborhood magazine and, just to get their their rates and information and how often they publish. And they've been taking a hiatus because of the virus, but they're coming back at some point in the spring. So they're doing whatever they can to be helpful to get people to come back in. And they said, we can do a story, we can do an interview with you to help you launch your business. And they had a list of things to be helpful with. So I was blown away by that. And then I for my own magazine's website, I wrote a classified ad for myself, which I will, I'm living with for a couple of days, but it's kind of close to being done. And then I thought that would be the first thing that I could go live with. And so I've kind of tried to focus on checking things off the to-do box for the business side of things, but I didn't realize how many people would be so lovely and supportive and then want to give me other ideas. So that was really exciting.
That's awesome. I'm so glad you're getting the confirmation from the universe through people, and that and I hope that you're like keeping track of like what everybody's telling you. Okay, in a notebook, so you can go back and make sure.
Yeah.
I want to show y'all something before you guys move on. You're gonna see my big belly. But this is I have Rita's publication here. This is from, let me see. This is from November, December of 2019. Art New England.
I love that.
And then I was like, I found your name in here somewhere. And I was like, oh my God, Rita. Associate publisher. Where is it, Rita? Where in the magazine? Is it in all the way in the back? I had to look for it.
So look, what are you looking for? I'm sorry.
Your name on here.
Oh, in the table of contents in the front. There are two tables of contents. On the second page, there's a masthead that has people's names.
Oh yeah, right here. Rita. I was like, oh my God. My brother is also an artist.
Oh wow.
More serious artist than I am. And he buys Art New England all the time.
Oh yay.
Yeah, so I have to talk to him and tell him like we need to like do something.
Love to talk to him.
Yeah. That's awesome, Rita. I'm so glad that you're like just checking off the boxes and like moving right along and building these new relationships. Right? What I get when I hear you talking is follow up.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Thank you for sharing. Sharad?
All right. So I started with organizing all my thoughts in the computer, having folders, to-do lists, because I have everything in my head, what I'm going to do. So it's just nice to have checklists, like even like my business card logo. How do I want it? And even like, yeah, but anyways, just different things I'm going to do. I guess the highlight for me would be, I guess, purpose or my goal or where I'm going with coaching. Initially, it was hard for me with the money thing because I've been doing for free, and have this established relationship. Don't want to lose it, but how do I just didn't know. So I learned some things the hard way. I emailed the people instead of talking to each of them. So I, in a way, I think I sent out 6 emails individually. They, didn't feel comfortable. Like I used the word triggered. So we had a conversation, and I basically, long story short, I learned you need to have conversation. Each person, each clients are different. Some maybe feel fine, email, but some need a personal conversation or a walk. But anyways, it was hard to hear, but I learned I can always go back. But from one the email, she said, "Oh, let's have a walk and talk. I want to know more about your coaching business." So that's, good news. But I guess again, you learn not to see as mistakes or failure, that it's the other side. Like, okay, it's a lesson. You just learn the hard way and kind of get back up again. Next time, this is what I'm going to do. That's why, in a way, I wanted to share that, because sometimes you can feel defeat at the moment, but it's actually a success, right? Failure, but yet can be success.
Yeah, I hear that. So because Karima hasn't met a lot of you guys, would you guys mind putting in the chat what kind of coaching you're hoping to do? Because we skipped that part today.
Yes.
Yeah, so that way Karima can be so she can know, and then when Karima introduces herself, I'll have her share her niche. Welcome, Tiela.
Hello, hello.
Hello. And okay, and so what you were saying was that so you've been following up with the people that have been part of your support groups.
Yes.
And switching from this
Nonprofit.
I'm gonna mute I'm gonna mute you for now, honey. And kind of switching the relationship dynamic from it's always been free to now I have this additional service that I'm offering. And before, I think you had sent out some emails and you heard nothing. This time you decided to send individual emails, and someone responded back saying, let's go walk and talk so I can learn more about your business.
Yes. Well, actually, I only sent out one email that was individual. And 2 weeks, I didn't hear anything from them. And later, I heard, and then one person responded, let's talk. I need this.
Okay, wonderful. So then what you said that was interesting. You're like, oh, I don't want to see this as a mistake. It's more of like, here's something I did and I learned from it, right?
Yeah.
Which is really important because kind of like everything that we do, one of the things that I've learned in business that's been so important is reframing. The art of reframing and the art of calling something, instead of saying, oh, I'm gonna like do this thing, it's an experiment, calling it an experiment. Because no matter what the outcome is, welcome Alba, no matter what the outcome is, you will always learn something, right, from an experiment. And if we call it an experiment, then we are not as afraid to try it. Right? Instead of feeling like, oh my God, this is like hard to die. I'm feeling my heart and soul and it's gonna bleed and like I'm gonna die. No. It's just an experiment and see what happens.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that. If I may make a suggestion, Sharab,
Sure. Yeah.
when you have either the walk and talk or you have a conversation with a person, remember the sales script.
Yeah.
Right, where it's about the discovery. Right, discovering and clarifying. Not you coaching. It's just like, okay, what is it that you want? Responding back. Like just being in that discovery mode.
So what's the second part? You said discovery, and what else? And learning, you said?
What did I say? I said discovery and
clarifying
and asking questions.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, just asking questions. Like read through that. If you're gonna walk, you're obviously not gonna have the script with you.
Yeah.
So read it before you go on the walk, just so you kind of get the idea.
Yes.
Right, and then at the end, you're gonna ask. So is this something you're ready to do?
Yes.
And it has a sequence, and it's a consultation.
Yes.
Where you're asking questions and discovering and clarifying and repeating back. And doing a lot more listening. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Awesome. Karima, it's good to see you.
Hi, it's been a while.
Wow.
So we were supposed to talk about some wins.
Yeah, so if you can, Karima, if you can introduce yourself and tell us what kind of coaching
Sure.
you do, and for the ladies that never met you before, and then we're reporting one win, either personal or professional.
Okay.
And then after that, I'm gonna walk you through a visualization, and I'm gonna ask everyone to commit to one action.
So my name is Karima. I had been doing consulting, like business consulting, for a while in an unofficial capacity. So by profession, I'm a strategist, and that's kind of just how my mind works, just the strategic connections and like resources that can be leveraged. And it doesn't just happen on the work front, it happens in all walks of life. So I found myself giving that strategic advice to friends, family members, whomever. Sometimes it was around career planning, sometimes it was around like entrepreneurship, starting side businesses, things like that. So a while back, I had the idea of sort of formalizing it into an actual consulting offering. And from a couple years ago, I had sort of written out a description of the service and had described it as a coaching / consulting relationship where I really am providing the strategy, helping with like the mindset shift that needs to happen when you're doing these things and like how to look at the problems. And then I came across Clara's coaching certification offering early in the pandemic lockdown. And really, it was the synergy just made sense for me to do that. So I have really built out that sort of coaching component in the larger consulting offering. So I am, like I said, I'm still very much building out what the offering is going to look like. But in terms of wins, this is kind of, I feel like it straddles personal and professional. I hired a virtual assistant this week, and I can already feel my life changing. So I actually made 2 hires. I hired a virtual assistant, and I'm also hiring a tutor to help with my son's virtual learning. So I can already feel my my life changing because I've tried working with virtual assistants in the past and have struggled just because I really need somebody who is going to be proactive, a go-getter, and like really can think on their own and not necessarily needing the hand holding and for me to give them task by task. So I was actually able to find somebody like that. So I'm really excited about that. And I feel like it's really going to give me the opportunity to kind of just move things along faster. It's been a struggle because in addition, like I said, I have a full career 9-to-5 style job. I have a 10-year-old who is doing the virtual school thing. I have a couple of different ventures that I was building out at the same time. So it really is like there aren't enough hours in the day. So I'm really looking forward to being able to delegate and offload some of the tasks to the virtual assistant and be able to focus a lot more on just like getting some things accomplished. So I'm excited about it.
That's exciting. I hired a virtual assistant about 8 months ago, and I love her. I love her so much.
I mean, I'm in love already. It's only been a couple days. It's only been a couple days. She started on Monday. It's only been a couple days.
Where did you find her?
So it's called Upwork. And that's another thing. So in terms of my service offering, a lot of the things that you ladies have touched on so far, thinking about formalizing of the business, that's kind of my sweet spot. And I'm in the process, like that's one of the first things I want to do is create something like what Clara was talking about in terms of like a freebie with like, kind of just like that punch list style, like you're starting a business, what are the things that you should try to get done? So you can look for that at some point in the future. Like that's one of the first things I want to produce. But I found her on Upwork. So it's like freelance style. It's like a freelance style board where you can go and find workers. I've used Fiverr in the past also, but I really just lucked up in finding this person on Upwork. A couple of the other VAs I found on Upwork were not as good, but she's really, really, really good.
Yes, I second that. That's where I found my person too. And I just love her for the same reasons that Karima said she loves her. She's like super proactive and easy to work with. If you guys end up looking for someone on Upwork, I recommend you download the app. It's way easier. That's awesome. And then you got help with your son as well. I mean, that's like being a parent, it's like a full-time job into itself. So that's huge. That's awesome. Yeah, and I mean, when you have that freebie ready, let us know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Maury, the floor is yours. You're muted, love.
Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's been a challenge, but I overcame that.
We can't see you though.
Oh my goodness. Hold on. Can you see
Here
me
we
now?
go. Now I can see you and hear you.
Okay. Okay. I just had some disturbances, so I had to go where I can get some peace. So this week, it's been a challenge, but I did it. I've been working on my 30-minute pitch, which I've accomplished, and I was
30-second, love?
yeah, my 30-second pitch, yes.
Okay.
And I did something I never thought I would do. I got introduced to the website, because I was never like a social media fan. So I overcame that and I started networking with people that knew me from the church and knew what I was doing long ago anyway. So, that set up some things for me and they were pushing me in the right areas to go. Right now, I have somebody helping me with my website. I'm scheduled to get my professional hair done tomorrow. So that's a start, and I got my DBA done over again and I applied for my certificate. And I opened up some other avenues in the midst of it, considering the pandemic and things that was going on. I decided to go into grief coaching. And so, I've ended up through school networking with another woman that we were considering doing the same thing. So we're working together on to do something together as a business plan while still coaching, because she's on another side of the mental health side of it. So as far as myself, I've been researching, getting invested in some more classes as far as taking up holistic coaching, just in case I run into some situations. I want to be much of a diversity coaching because of my lifestyle and where I've been and where I came from. So, and I did accomplish getting my bank account set up and separating my business from my name. I've managed to accomplish that. And so, and I started setting up a shop payment through donations that was given to me. And so that's where I stand right now.
Wow, that's a lot. It's a lot of wins. So you practicing your pitch, you've been working on your website.
Yes.
You're like, I'm gonna get my professional hair done.
Yes, I'm waiting.
Is that your professional photos? Are you gonna get your hair done to get
No, my hair done, because the new me is the new look, and the new look is gonna it's gonna start with my brand, because I have to professionally put myself out there from my past, and so, and I have some, but I need a up-to-date me, the brand new me, new year, new start, new beginning.
I love it. I love it. The hair is so important.
Oh yes.
And then you decided to do also grief coaching, and then you're partnering with someone.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, keep that momentum going.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here and sharing. Tiela, would you like to go next?
Sure. One win for the week. I'm gonna be transparent. It's been a week. I ended the year in a very deep place. I lost a close mentor of mine, so this week has been actually discombobulated. But I would say a win that I have is being last week. A friend of mine who was a part of my thesis that supported me in my thesis in my one woman show reached out to me And she had did a piece that I found that I want to use with my girls, and she wants me to support her and another person to come together and co-write a curriculum together. So there's an opportunity for co-authorship. I was looking for opportunity to write or do something this year. So the opportunity to use the skills that I'm doing right now and kind of support around this that it relates to me, I'm like excited about that opportunity. And then, love, thank you. That was one thing. Yeah, that was my
Yeah.
win.
Yeah, and I'm sorry about your loss too. I know who you're talking about. And yeah, I mean, and I cried. And because I was literally with her in an event and we were in the same break room. And I was like, what? Like, and I saw a video where you guys, I think you and a bunch of people had surprised her for her birthday.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, there goes Tiela. Yeah. So life is just like 1 minute, here we are. Right. And then we're not. And so I was just like, wow, like no time to waste. Yeah. So
today has been a regroup. I would say one of the things that I've been, I appreciate hearing Marie talk about Marie, and please let me know if I'm saying that incorrectly, if there's a different way to Maury, excuse me. As you're talking about becoming a grief coach, I so resonate and appreciate hearing that and knowing that that is a line of work that is needed and appreciated as people are working through that process. So congrats and shout out to you. And I look forward to staying in contact because you never know down the line what is needed. And especially in the line of, for me, looking at young people in the torch, especially in this case for my mentor, we are coming together to think about young women, young people who are this might have reverse effects for some of the things they were going through in their personal traumas, and having a voice there as a pillar and not having that there. How do we support them through their grief process? So I appreciate you. That's one of the things as I'm moving forward, it's just honoring my mentor. How do I continue to honor her since I've had her in my life since 19? I think the things that I'm doing is right in line to continuing that legacy that she leaves behind.
Tiela, if you got, there's anything that's going to be done for her, like,
I will definitely let you know next
count me
Thursday.
in.
I will send you the link. Next Thursday is her birthday, would have been her birthday. And so we're coming together on that day from 6:30 to 8:30 in a larger Zoom celebration of life for her. So when that link and that information is made available, I will definitely send that to you.
Yeah,
do we have session next Wednesday?
Yes.
Okay, so then that would be a perfect time to ensure I try to get that thing.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, so Tiela's mentor is Irvine Goldston, right? And she was a deputy director for health services at ABCD. And she was an African-American woman who she was like a force of nature and the sweetest, kindest, like royal presence, embracing. Yeah, and everywhere she was like everywhere, like just supporting everything. And just such a beautiful, humble soul. And yeah, it was very shocking for me. And for many people. So yeah, anything that I can do. I've been looking looking around to see like what are people doing, to support, like to carry her name, to support her family. Let me know. Awesome. Yeah, and co-authorship, that's cool, right? Like somebody picking something that you worked on.
It's what she worked on is her piece, but I always call it the opportunity to pay it forward, because when I was writing my thesis, she contributed work in words to my thesis that helped me formulate my one woman show. So here we are 7 years later. And I was going to use her work with my girls. So it was funny because I was already thinking about curriculum that I wanted to do in my own programming. And so when she reached out to me, I was like, oh, it was the same day I thought of it. I was like, oh, you must have been in my spiritual energy because you felt that. And so now it's the opportunity to come together for her piece Roar.
It seems like right now there's like, this because I keep hearing that same example, TLA, a lot of people like magnetizing and attracting what they want. They're like, oh my God, I was literally just thinking of that. And I got the call or I got the email. So whatever that energy is, let's take advantage of it and like really.
Hey, $5,000, how you doing?
Say that again. Say that again.
I said, hey, $5,000, how you doing?
Visualize that. Well, how do you want it? Check.
I
Money
will take
order.
it in check. I will take it in services being booked and being ready to go. Okay.
Right? Like, how do you visualize it in your bank account? Like, whatever that is. I'm so serious. Really, the power of visualization is, as Jan know, it's like the most powerful thing. Well, thank you for sharing, Tiela, and thank you for being with us. I love your head wrap, and that's my favorite color, by the way. Alba, I don't care if your hair messy or whatever's going on.
Listen, I got bed hair, I got PJs, I got all kinds of stuff. I love working from home, but at the same time, I do let a little bit. Yeah, I need to take care of myself a little better to do my hair. Sometimes. Hey everybody. I love listening to you guys, and Tiela, I'm sorry for your loss, and I'm glad that you're living in the legacy of and making her proud. So I think that's beautiful. I am a trauma life coach, so I help women who have overcome sexual trauma, domestic violence, narcissistic abuse, and things of that nature, as well as teenagers. And I just realized that I'm going to start writing my book like now, right? So that's exciting. I'm going to start writing my book, Trauma Liberation, My Roadmap to Overcoming Trauma. And I already have a plan, which means I'm going to take some earned time from work. So I'm going to break it up and take a day a week, every week or two, and just spend 8 hours that I would be working and write. So that's exciting. And I also have this situation where I joined this thing called Clubhouse, where I'm able to like connect with other individuals. And I am still nervous about doing what I know I have to do, which is to really start creating spaces for people to come in and talk about their trauma and help them through that. And then eventually open up my own club called Trauma Liberation, which again is like going hand in hand with what I'm doing with, my coaching, my podcast, as well as my book. So it's like a perfect situation. But at the same time, I'm sitting there like I'm at the beach, I'm dipping my toe in the water, dipping it back out, dipping my toe in the water, dipping it back out. I'm like, I can't do this. So I'm kind of in a state of pause right now, like almost like a meditative state, trying to get like true confirmation for what vision I should focus on, because I have a lot of goals. And I don't want to move on all of them and then get nothing done. So I really want to be mindful about where I invest the little time that I have in terms of time away from family. So I have to be very selective. So I'm just in a dedicated to doing prayer, intermittent fasting, where I'm juicing in the morning until about 12 o'clock, and then spending that time just devoting to God and trying to get confirmation about what next. So that way I am gonna kind of have that maximum yield because I'm moving in the right direction with the right focus on God and what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. So that's kind of like where I'm at right now.
So thank you, Alba, for sharing. And I love that you said you're going to start writing your book because, yeah, it's time. So when you were saying that, all I kept thinking was like, okay, so what's the plan? Like, how much time are you going to dedicate every day? And I wanted to share also with you that when I wanted to write my book, right, it was literally like 10 years. I would write myself these notes like, I want to write a book. I'm writing a book. And I would just put it everywhere. And it wasn't until my daughter was born that I was like, if I'm going to tell my daughter to follow her dreams, I better damn well follow mine. And I would spend 15 to 30 minutes at the YMCA's couch in Stoughton on my phone, typing my little fingers away while she was in daycare. And then I would send whatever I'd written to my editor. And that was key for me. So I wanted to share that. And then I wonder, what's the plan for you to make sure that you're writing?
So I met with a self-publishing company called Self-Publish in 30 Days. So I with Darren, the CEO. So I'm going to be working with him, and they have a group of accountability writing coaches that will meet me once a week. So all I have to do is come up with 10 to 12 topics, which will eventually mold into chapters, and write every week. They'll check in with me to see if I wrote my chapter, and there will be my accountability coaches. So I'll have the time that I'll set from work that I'll be like totally like working. So I'll be able to just do that. And then I'll also set some evenings or early mornings aside as well to do some writing.
Fantastic. You have a plan and you got people.
Mm.
Lovely. I can't wait to read it. Oh my God, when you have that book in your hands, it's like another little baby. You're going to be so happy, Alba. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy for you. I'm so excited.
Getting your book definitely helped me see it as possible. Like holding your book, when I got it, I was just like, you know what? You can do this. You've been talking about doing this. You did all the you talked to the people. You saw how much it cost. You did all that work. Just do it. Just do it.
Yeah, you can totally do it. Any one of you can completely, absolutely, no doubt, do this for sure. And the world needs whatever it is you have to say, because nobody's going to say it the way you're going to say it. No one has lived it the way you've lived it. So there's just not enough. There's just not enough out there of people sharing, their honest experiences, because it's yours and yours alone. Yeah, 3 of us want to write a book. Yeah. It's time. It's time. Yeah, 15 minutes a day, I'm telling you. And getting yourself a good editor, somebody that you trust, that you don't care, like if that, not that you don't care, but that you trust, is key. It's key. So, I want to share a win with y'all. So this week, I have been boldly asking my referral network. So one thing that I'm doing this year is I'm offering my coaching certification as a way for companies to help improve their management teams through the power of coaching, and to make their managers better leaders through coaching. So I packaged the program in such a way that is geared, with that angle and that context. And then also adding the positive intelligence track as an added bonus. And I had this idea of like how I would market it. But then I said, like, I'm just going to practice what I preach, which is my circle of influence. So I have been reaching out to friends of mine that are, like in the HR space and the diversity and inclusion space, and having conversations with them. And some of them are like, yeah, like my company has like 200 managers, Clara. We could pilot this. And people have just been coming up with like so many amazing ideas and sending me to different funding sources. And so it's been really wonderful for two reasons. So one is like for me to be vulnerable, right? And share this project as it's being built, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. And to trust the people that are in my circle of influence that already love and respect me and want to help. And then being open to just all these amazing connections and ideas. And I feel like I'm just gonna, completely surpass my goal because of it. I'm embracing, the help of other people and being vulnerable. And taking this next step, in vulnerability and with courage and vulnerability. So I wanted to share that because I'm super excited. So with that, I want to do this visualization with all of you. Thank you, Alba, called the state of personal power. And so this visualization, you guys all have in your toolbox. But what I would like to do is to walk you through it, and then have you think about something that you want to do in the future, like, a courageous step, something that you're going to do, and put you in that state of personal power. And then after I go through it, you share like what is that thing that you envisioned in the visualization that you're going to do, and hopefully you can do it very soon, within the next week or so. Okay. So let me just introduce you to what it is again, right? So the state of personal power is a way to put yourself into not just a state of mind, but a state of being, where you can comfortably, easily, and naturally walk through something that might have in the past caused you anxiety or stress, or fight, flight, or freeze response. For example, like if you have to go to court to fight a traffic ticket, or if you're going to give a big speech in front of a large audience, or you're going to pitch your business to someone that you think is so big, or have a job interview. Any situation where you feel out of your comfort zone. So what a state of personal power looks like, for example, is like when you're in grade school, or when like a teenager in high school performing a sport, or performing on stage, or reading in front of a class, and you just knew, because like back when you were young, sometimes like we were very, very confident, sometimes overly confident, some of us. You thought you were, anytime that you felt like you were invincible, that nothing could take you down. Or maybe it was some other time in your life, when everything just fell into place and you were having the best time of your life. So what I would like for you to do, if you would like to relax in your chair, feel the weight of your chair. This is probably going to take about 5 minutes or so. Lean back and get comfortable. And if you want to just go ahead and take a few deep breaths together. Breath in and out through your nose. We'll do that one more time. Breathe in through your nose and out. And you want to tell your entire body to relax. So once you have your eyes closed, I want you to identify or remember a state or a moment in which you have had all of your resources available to you. A time when you were fully in a state of excellence. A time when you were in your own personal power. And this is where we start to visualize. What did that look like? What was happening in that moment? Can you see yourself in that moment? You look at your feet, look at your hands. What were you wearing? What sounds did you hear? Can you hear other people's voices around in that moment? Voices of excitement. Can you bring your attention to that moment, to your chest, and remember how you felt? And try to be aware of what is going on in your body as you recall your state of excellence. So I want you to raise your hand when you've got your personal power moment. Just put your hand up. Awesome. All right, that's right. You are invincible. You are strong. You are at your peak. You are experiencing, sensing, feeling excellence. You may hear others around you applauding and cheering you on. You may hear voices maybe saying, "Congratulations, you did it. You're doing it." Maybe you see smiling faces in a large or a small audience before you, and you realize that you are in your A game. You're on top of the world, and you feel like $1,000,000. In fact, you're in top shape, in top form. That's right. You're fully confident because you really know what you're doing, and your enthusiasm is off the charts. You realize that in this state of being, you can do anything. You can excel, you can pass the test, you can stay strong, you can stand tall because you are in your A game. You're at your peak. You're full of energy, you're full of power, you're full of strength, you're confident, and you're enthusiastic. And now I want you to realize how that feels in your body right now in this moment and all the sensory perceptions around you. You might notice that you're sitting straight in your chair, you feel taller. How do you feel? Do you feel your spine standing up straighter? You're feeling stronger. Maybe your shoulders are back and you're really ready to face the world. So just bring it on and you're ready for anything. You are now aware that whatever is before you, you will experience with ease, confidence, and strength. I want you to embrace this feeling and visualize yourself with this feeling. How do you look when you visualize it? What do you hear? How do you sound when this power is activated within you? What do you feel in your body when you are in your state of personal power? And I want you to hold on to this. I want you to hold on to this vision, hold on to this feeling, hold on to the sensation. And I want you to hold it. Imagine holding it like an energy ball in front of you, right? I want you to like really make it real, your state of personal power. where you feel again fantastic, on top of the world, strong, enthusiastic, and at your peak. And now, what I want you to do is anchor it somewhere in your body. Put it somewhere in your body. Maybe as an anchor, you may want to tap the back of your wrist, or you may pinch the little skin between your forefingers of your thumbs. Maybe you squeeze your index finger and your thumb together. Create your own anchor. Somehow anchor this feeling in your body so at the touch, you can get yourself right back into the state. You can do what works for you as an anchor. Touch your chest, touch your ear, whatever works for you. And once you have anchored this feeling of power in your body, I want you to raise your hand. Okay. Okay. Now, I want you to imagine a time in the future where you are going to want to activate this personal power. Imagine a moment where you're going to step outside of your comfort zone into a situation that in the past may have felt uncomfortable for you. I want to give you a second to think about that. Like, what is something that you're going to do in the future where you may want to call upon this state of personal power? Okay. Once you have it, you have your moment where you're going to use it, please raise your hand. Wonderful. Now, what I want you to do is imagine putting yourself into the state of personal power. You're going to use your anchor and you're going to activate it now. That's right. Activate that state of personal power, maybe in that future scene. Maybe you feel yourself sitting or standing taller. You can see what you're wearing. And you can feel the state of personal power come alive within you. And you feel the strength, the confidence, the energy, and the enthusiasm wash over your entire being. You see yourself in that future situation now. You can feel how strong you are now. Listen to how enthusiastic and confident you sound. And I want you to visualize, listen, and feel in the clearest detail possible how things are different for you and around you because you have chosen to activate your state of personal power. So notice how you feel. You notice what you see. And notice what you listen. What are you listening to? What do you hear in this moment? Take a look around you. How are people responding to you now that you're in your state of personal power? Great. And then in a moment, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes and become aware of your present environment and to notice how different you feel right now, having just stepped into a state of personal power. And so this amazing process, activating your personal power and then walking into a situation where you know that you need to be at your personal best. I want you to remember that you can do this at any time, that you can activate this state of personal power by touching your anchor, and you can face anything that you might have to go through that would normally cause you stress. Anything that in the past would have made you feel nervous, now you can breeze through it. Activate the state of personal power and you'll be able to walk in and easily and naturally handle whatever comes your way with the utmost confidence, the utmost sincerity, and the utmost enthusiasm. You're going to realize that you have just accomplished something that you know in the past might have been difficult for you. And now you can naturally walk through these situations with ease. And when you're on the other side of the situation, you're going to feel the best that you have ever felt. You're going to feel like $1,000,000 because you have activated your personal power. So I'm going to count to 3 and ask you to open your eyes. 1, 2, 3. So with that, what I would love to hear is, what is that courageous action or thing that you're going to step into this week where you will activate your state of personal power? So whoever is ready to share can just go ahead and unmute yourself.
This week, very interesting. So many different visuals that came up for me, but I've been invited to be a part of the planning committee for my mentor's celebration. So I'm working closely with her best friends and her family to ensure the most glorious Queen Mother celebration as we can possibly do. And I remember in the beginning of being asked, I just felt like, oh, I want to do something. But as I'm going along and hearing different folks, and they're like, I'm so glad you're on board. Yes, you're the one, you've been around, da, da, da. What do you think? Can you take the lead on getting the artists together? Boom, boom, boom. And I'm sitting there like, oh, you having this like, oh, yeah. And now I'm just like, wait, why not me? Duh, me. Like, of course I would honor her legacy. Of course she would want me to step up in this way. Of course she would want me to be at the table. Of course, that's what she has put in me, the seed she planted in me. So to be the flowers and just bloom, do what I gotta do, and flow.
Can't wait to be there, Tiala. Can't wait to see what you co-create. It's beautiful. Can't wait. Oh my God. You guys have to see Tiala in action. When I tell you she is power, I can't wait. I'm excited. Thank you, Tiala. Who would like to share next?
I can go.
Okay, Karima.
So the people in this group that know me know that I have been procrastinating on sort of launching a couple of things. But with the onboarding of the virtual assistant, we've set a firm launch date for the store. So that should have been launched a while ago. But I decided to do it MLK Day. So my thought is, Martin Luther King had a dream. So do I. So in that same sort of line of thinking, that's kind of how, like, that's going to be the lead up to it. And we figured we wanted a little bit of lead time to sort of get the word out there. So I'm going to be officially launching something that has been ready to go for a while, but it really has just been me wanting to perfect it to the point where it's just like paralysis. Like it's functional. I've gone on other stores that have way less in terms of design, in terms of content, but it's like I didn't want to put anything out until it was where I wanted it. And it's been where I wanted it, but just didn't pull the trigger. So that is something that is big for me because of my own just sort of internal dialogue with myself about the readiness. But it really is a moment where I think I can really utilize what we just talked through and sort of tapping into my own internal power to calm myself and sort of give myself the confidence I need to get through it. So.
And hit that button, publish.
Yeah. It's published. It's actually live. So I don't know. It's live. I just haven't it wasn't an official launch. It's technically the soft launch. It's soft launched a couple weeks back, but it's live and ready to go. If anybody wants to check it out, you guys are welcome.
Yes, please put it in the chat. So MLK Day is when you're gonna make
just like the build up for the official excitement about it. But It's live.
Put it in the chat. I want to see what it is. I want to see. Wonderful.
And I can actually create a promo code for this group. So I'll do that. I will do that and I'll send it to Clara and Clara can send it out.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So is that gonna happen? Well, wait. Excuse
the
my
night.
ignorance. When is MLK Day?
The 18th. So not next Monday, the Monday after.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. Maury, you unmuted yourself. Are you next?
Oh, did I? Oh, well, I can. Of everything I've gone through, it's not where you start, it's about getting started. And since we last left, I have really pushed myself above and beyond. And I also came up with a project dedicated to all my women supporters that I will be launching online. And I have not shared it yet because I'm doing some finishing touches to it. And I believe it's going to I know it's going to be a great impact on all of you. And I'm just doing some finished touches to it because it has everything from all diversities, all walks of life, what I've done to bring together into unity. And I believe the time is now. So no better time to get started than now. And I'm trying to finish it by Valentine's Day.
Okay. So launching it's an online offering for women that you are.
Oh, I targeted the men as well.
Oh, okay, men and women. That you want to have ready to go by February 14th.
Correct.
Awesome. Well, can't wait to see what you're creating, ma'am.
I'll send it to you after, but you know, like it working. So
awesome. Thank you. Who would like to share next? What are you stepping into your personal power with or into?
I can go. Yeah, I can
go. Go ahead. All right.
Go ahead, Trip.
Oh, I can. Oh, okay. Sorry. So, from the experience I learned about the group, I'm going. Actually, have it all written already in the flyer. Have not put it out there yet. I'm going to send it out to Winchester and have a free group. So my group's going to be sort of my referral. My service will be one-on-one. So through my class or group facilitating, they can find me in word of mouth. And that's what I'm most comfortable with. Like the organic meet me, I see you, and then go from there. So I have to start with me being confident. And that vision that you, the person of power, brought me back to when I was divorced, and my court date. Like, I'm tired of being, hurting and in pain. And the decision I made to leave the marriage, close a chapter, I felt empowered. Even though I had nothing to nothing. The resources were limited, like with no job, nothing, but yet I feel empowered because I feel free and feel my value, that I'm worth something.
So what you said you're gonna step into you're gonna connect with a group in Winchester. And
yes.
And they're going to help you. They're going to be a referral source for you.
Yeah, so they're going to come from my free groups, and then word of mouth, and then they like what I'm doing, they can hire me one-on-one. That would be the coaching, but the group is a service.
Okay, sharing your information with, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Groups in Winchester. Wonderful. Thank you, Trep. Who would like to share next? Alba?
Yes, I am. Well, the visualization was amazing. I brought myself back to giving birth to my last child, where I had a pain-free water birth. It was beautiful. And I brought it all together with giving birth to my book. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to step out, dive into the water, and I'm going to start creating my tribe for my book launch. So I am going to do that whole thing on Clubhouse, and I'm going to for sure begin to create my tribe and begin to have that space where people can come to me and get support around trauma and just open up, and then eventually open up my own club that's going to be tied together to the book.
Yeah. I can totally see you being like, my book is dropping the season of this year.
Yeah.
And then having everybody hold you accountable.
Yep.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. So beautiful. Thank you, Alma. Who would like to share next? Who's left? Rita?
So one of the things I've been struggling with as I start to launch this coaching practice is what to call myself. And I've been sitting with this, and then I realized that I have these hangups about naming things. And a few Wednesdays ago, when I first decided that I just had this identity thing about adoption, and that should be one of my specialties, I realized that I've always had these name issues, because I was given a birth name, which I found when I did my search. And then, of course, I had no control over that. And then I was given an adopted name. So I actually have an amended birth certificate. And I never named myself, I've had my own identity issues. So here I am trying to embark on something where I help other people with their identity. And I can go through my checklist and do all the business stuff. Like, I'm really good at that part, but I haven't been able to get through the emotional part of it. Like, what do I call myself? Do I put my name on this business? Do I hide it behind another name? Is my name anywhere in the title of it? So I guess it would be a real testament of my own personal power if I could sit with finally deciding on what to name this practice and overcome that identity thing that I have, which I think would make me feel much more capable of helping other people with their identity stuff.
Totally. So what are you gonna do to do that?
Well, I'm very paper and pen. So I have been writing different names and playing with different things and moving words around, and then sitting with them and trying to see how they feel and which one feels true and which one feels cliche or whatever. And I'm trying to just weed out all the ego stuff and all the don't be catchy, don't be cute, don't be whatever. Just try to find something simple and real and honest. I haven't found it yet, but
You will.
but I think it'll feel really good. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do this week. I'm going to lock it down.
Cool. Rita, have you ever thought of asking for it in a dream?
I haven't asked for this in a dream. There are other things I've tried to ask for, but that's good. I'll do that.
Can't wait to see what you come up with.
Me too. Thank you.
So something that I'm going to step into this week is that, I have not been ready to give up my office because my office is going to be the baby's room. So, however, right, it's never black or white, it's and, or, it's that and. So, what I'm going to do this week is create an area for myself, and also create an area for the baby. And so we can share it, because it doesn't have to. I've been having this thought of like, oh my God, I'm giving up my space. But no, it doesn't have to be like that. We can share it. It's cool. So I'm going to this week, I'm going to embark on that. And yeah, because there's plenty of room here for both of us to coexist. So um so that's what I'm doing this week, because I've had to really get over myself of like, I'm giving something up, but instead it's like, no, I'm sharing. That's it for me. Um, so as always, this is always such a pleasure and an honor for me to share this space with all of you. Thank you for everything that you've shared today. You know, it enriches all of us. Thank you for your willingness to take your vision, take your mind through this visioning. As part of the, when I send the recording, I'm going to ask my assistant to also send you the script again, so you can have it. So either you can walk yourself through it or walk one of your clients through it. I recently did it with a client who's having a bunch of job interviews this week. And then, you know, we are all holding you accountable and holding you up in what you said you were going to step into your personal power with. So I wish you all an amazing week full of power and positivity. And there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the country right now, which I'm not going to say, but I feel like more than ever, you know, we need to stay focused on what we can do. You know, first within our own lives, our own circles, and really vibe high, so we can send out rays of positivity that hopefully reach those who are not in that space. Um, we are going to meet next week. So I look forward to seeing you all next week. And if you need me for anything, like I said before, please do it before the end of the month. I'm going to put my a link to my calendar on the chat now. So in case you need a book time with me for whatever reason, um, you know, I really want y'all to feel supported before, you know, I'm off to give birth. So if you give me a moment, I'm gonna put the I'm gonna put my Calendly right on here. And then those of you who haven't, you know, you're for whatever reason with the positive intelligence thing, like just keep me posted. Um, and you need to apply, I believe it's before the 18th, if you want to get in there, okay? So here is my calendar. If anybody wants to book time in there. And yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night. Thank you for your presence. This is always such a pleasure. Anyone want to share anything, any last thoughts before we go?
I just want to ask a quick question. How many more sessions do we have together? Do we have the 13th and the 20th?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And then I'm working on my website. I'm working on a way to create for each of you all to have your own profile within my website, where so that I can start promoting the Coaching Institute. And then, you know, as people need different coaches, they can go to that like it will be a directory, and they'll be able to find you and kind of book time with you. And then I'm also working on another place on the site where you guys will you will have your own login, and you'll be able to access all of these calls as well. So it'll be like nice and organized for you. And if you ever, need inspiration, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go go back to that one. So it'll all be so hopefully I'll be able to get that. It's all in the process of getting done now. And I'll have that done before I go off on maternity leave.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'm so happy to do that. Anyone else before we go? No?
Stay safe.
Say that again?
Stay safe.
Yes. Thank you, Rita.
My condolences.
Say that again, Maury?
I said my condolence.
What you say, my condolence? Oh, to Tiela. Yeah, Tiela, I look forward to hearing from you about the celebration, okay?
Yeah.
Prima, it was great to see you. Thank you for sharing your website with us. I'm looking forward to supporting you, and I hope everyone has a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye, Gladys. Bye.